All right. All right. Just waiting for Miss Kia. Kia, let me cancel you and let me send the invite.
Hey, sister.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kia asked to join. Let me see if that'll work. Because I've noticed that sometimes it won't allow people to. There she is.
Hey, girl. All
Back
right,
like
we
you never
back.
left.
We in the swing of things. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah. So I guess my next question to you, Kia, was going to be, um, since you started doing this, what are some of the changes that you've noticed? And it doesn't necessarily need to be like weight oriented either. Like just in general, the
Um,
benefits.
the benefits for me is it's a lot of clarity for me in the morning.
Come on,
You wake up,
clarity.
you're walking, your mind is as clear, you're in the elements of our universe, and it just gets me going to thinking and planning and motivation for the things that I want to do in my life.
Mm,
And as well as yes, I've dropped some pounds, I've dropped some inches. I wear a uniform, my uniforms are fitting different. So the goal again, the main goal is I want to get this weight down to get off this medication, for high
mhm.
blood pressure. But when I say the benefits are wonderful, it just can be a plethora of things, when you start your day. And I know some people can't, like you say, you are at work, so you can't really start as early as we do. But, whenever. I just think just that outside element for me works better than being on the treadmill. For
Right.
some people,
Right.
it doesn't matter where they are. But I just know that kickstarts my day, my week,
Yeah.
my month. So I love it.
Yeah. Me myself personally, I'm full disclosure, 100%. I hate working out. I can't stand it. I honestly loathe it, and I
Yeah,
have to go about it in a way where it, like, I have to trick myself. So, like, I ride my bike every day to work. I work about a half a mile away from my home,
well, that's
which is pretty
good.
close,
Yeah,
but
that's
I ride my
good.
bike every day. As long as the weather is good, I ride my bike, and that is my workout every day. But I have
Hmm.
to make my workouts make sense in how I'm maneuvering, because
Right.
if I have to come home and then retool up and then go back out, it's never going to happen.
Yes.
If I
Right.
have to leave work and then stop somewhere else before I get home, it's never going to work for me, because I'll say, "Oh, I'll do that tomorrow or the next day, or I'll only work out on Wednesdays, or I'll do it at the end of the week." It turns out to be never. So
Okay.
I have to fit it in to aspects of my life where it makes sense. So
Okay.
everybody has to find their way of doing what they need to do for themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What
Absolutely. Yeah.
about you, Miss Glitz? What have you noticed different in your life since you started?
Just the consistency. Like I've noticed that I've been losing weight. I've noticed, like I said, I've been inspiring people who I don't even know that follow me. They're coming up to me at the Dell Music Center. They're coming up to me saying, "Oh my gosh, like you're losing weight, you're doing it. Like I'm so proud of you." A
Mhm.
lot of people are very positive. So I'm noticing that. I'm noticing like this one small goal is I went on vacation and was able to walk the resort. Now to some people like TK, they might be small to you because you might already be fit. But to me, that was a lot to me because like on a resort, you have the specialty restaurants over here. You have this over there. Then you have the beach over here. Then you have the registration. You might be in a whole different hotel, and the thing is, I was able to walk the resort comfortably
Mhm.
without having to stop and sweating all over the place. I also, I didn't have to wear girdle. So not saying that I'm, sometimes I probably will still wear a girdle, but I'm just saying I felt comfortable in my own skin that I was able to walk around and not be pausing or not saying, "Whew, wait a minute." Like, so it's because I've been walking for a long time that, that built me up to that.
Mhm.
So it
Hmm.
feels
Yeah.
good. It feels good that that I was able to walk, and I really am happy about that I was able to walk the resort, because like I said, that might be small to somebody, but that's big to me. Who wants to keep on stopping at each place? And sometimes on resorts they don't even have chairs like right then and there. So
Hmm.
that's the amazing part, that I'm seeing results that are not just scale victories. So
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
really good.
And
Mhm.
another thing that struck me too are some of the conversations that you ladies have while you're walking, and just sharing life events and tidbits on life, sources of inspiration that you're giving to one another, and that's probably the main thing that made me really want to talk to you, because it's like a hub of inspiration and resource, no matter what it is. Even outside of the walking, it's like you're getting nutrients for your spirit while you're walking that have nothing to do with what you're there for. I love that.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
good. See, Kia,
Yes.
see what you doing,
Yes, in harmony with what Tiara said, I do get a lot of people who might see me. Like, I just went to a family reunion. A few people said, "Yeah, I see you walking. Did you walk this morning before the reunion?" Or they might inbox me and say, "I'm joining. I'm coming. I'm coming." So I really like that we're motivating people to do as much as they can or do
Mhm.
something different. So
Yeah,
it's a beautiful feeling. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
what is your? I'll go here. Starting with you, Kia. I want you to manifest something, because I always get my guests to manifest something in the world, their desire, their want, their need, even if it's not even for yourself, even if it's for somebody else, but just put something in the universe.
Put something in the universe. I'm just for us all to do better, just to pay more attention to your health is so important.
Mhm.
It really is. And for a second there, I wasn't paying attention. I know in the back of my mind, but when stuff started happening, life started happening, then it was like, okay, you're not getting any younger. You're going to have to do a little extra. You didn't have to do that before when you were younger. So now it's just like, okay, now there's the sign, there's a signal, this is happening to you. So you have to do better, change. You don't have to totally change your diet, but just use some alternates that will still give you that pleasure that you like. Like yesterday, I put up a post about pizza. Like I love pizza, but I can't continue to go to these pizza shops to get the greasy, cheesy, wonderful pizza. So I'm doing an alternate. I went and got some frozen cauliflower crust. I got the sauce, I got the cheese,
Kia?
and I
That
put my
looked really
toppings
good
on.
too.
And that's it. It satisfied my, I won't say addiction, but just my craving.
Mhm.
So that's what we're trying to motivate people to do. Like just do it, just tweak it a little bit. You don't have to do the crash diets and things because you will start to see results just with a little bit of change. So that's what I want to manifest in the world. Just just try, make an effort
Yeah.
because we all need to do some changes.
And before I get to you, Miss Bliss, I want to piggyback on what Kia said. As we get older, your body changes anyway.
Hmm.
Right.
So if you're starting out in a not so great place, and I don't mean to scare anybody, but I do kind of mean to scare you. If you're starting out in a not so great place, as you age, it's going to get worse, because we
Yes.
begin to slow down naturally. Things
Yep.
begin to change naturally. So if you're
Hmm.
going against the natural grain of things and you're fighting to the very end, the more healthy you will be in your, latter years. But if you're doing nothing about it and you're just aging and you're not doing it gracefully, you're not going to have so many great years in the later, because things are going to start to affect you in a very profound way. So,
Hmm.
stay up on your health.
Yes,
It's important.
it
All right,
is.
Miss Glitz, what do you manifest?
I just manifest that more people will. This is for everybody else. That more people will get will start getting healthy, that they will do things, because like I said, I don't want to be all broken up by the time I get to 65,
That part.
or
Hmm.
75. I want to be able to still go on vacations. I still want to be able to live my life, drive my car, but I don't want to be, you know, so broken up that I can't. And a lot of people, this day and age, a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm comfortable with this." But a lot of times you really aren't. You just learn to deal with it. And
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand that, like Kia was saying, like, people, you are more, like, things start breaking down, like you said, Chike. Like, things will start, like, your weight affects a lot of things. Whether it's your heart, whether it's your fibroids, us as women, we can't go to the bathroom, just different things. Things affect you. So it's like, if you don't take notice of it now, and I just didn't want to be just glitz and glamour on the outside. When I go outside, I'm real cute, everything like that, but I didn't want to be that just on the outside. On the inside, I'm trying to do better. Like I said, not just for myself, not just for my grandma, but I want to live. I want to be here for my family. I want to be, I want to be a nice size, but not only that, I want to be healthy inside.
Hmm.
And right now, I am very healthy. The only problem, not the only problem I have is that I'm obese. So I want to get to it before. I don't want to go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, you pre-diabetic. Oh, you got high blood pressure, or oh, you have these kind of problems." I
Mm-hmm.
want to attack it now. So, and I was active in high school. I used to run track. Now I wasn't the best at it, but I still was running track. So I
Mm-hmm.
can actually do this. And one of my followers the other day, she's around about 300 pounds, and she said, "Tierra, the fact that you're doing it is inspiring me, saying if you can do it, I can do it."
Hmm.
And actually, matter of fact, today maybe I might post some pictures, so people can know I was not always this small. So I could encourage women. A lot of times, if you're not heavy set or if you're not a certain way, you don't know. Like, maybe smaller people might have problems, but us as bigger women, some of the problems are when we go to work out, when we go to the gym, people are looking at you funny, or they're saying, snide remarks, or maybe your tights might be not, might not be the prettiest. Or if you go to LA Fitness on City Line Avenue, that's like Club LA. Everybody look cute there. You know what I mean? So you might be discouraged coming in as a big woman, or say if you go to some of these classes, I can't do burpees right off the bat. So that's why I'm trying to inspire the women, and I'm trying to tell them. That's why I post them, tell them like, you could do it. I'm rooting for them because it really helps people keep going. Like me seeing Kia with her knee replacements. Some people who have knee replacements, they just let themselves not let themselves go, but they just sit down and take your stand. Not saying some people take surgeries different, but
Hmm.
the fact that Kia can do it with her knee replacements, the fact that she's doing it at 55, my mom is doing it at 58. I think Miss Janine is 63. She get her grandkids off the camp and she be like, "Girl, I'm walking." Even on the hot day, she walk right inside her house, run up her steps. She's trying her best. So I think that as long as you're trying to do better, that's all that matters. And like I said, that's all. I'm just trying to be better than yesterday. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else but myself. And I see myself pushing myself, and I see myself getting better and doing different things. And that's how I want to, that's how I want to continue. But I love the fact that the women are inspired. Even one lady said I was inspired. I don't know if it was you, kid, but somebody said they were seeing Tabitha walk, and they said they were still sitting on the couch. But then they saw me, and now they want to get up and walk. And she's a celebrity. You know what I mean? So
But
Mm-hmm.
even
that's what makes you so vital is because you're the everyday woman.
Yes.
People
oh,
can
okay,
relate to the everyday woman. People
Mm-hmm.
can say, "Oh, she works on the set. She works like a limited time, so the rest of her time is free." Of course, she can afford to walk.
Mm-hmm.
You ladies work. You have
right,
businesses. You're doing other things. Your moms. You walking is relatable. That's why I
right,
want you here because you're relatable.
okay,
If you can do it,
Yes.
anybody can do it.
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about like the weight loss surgeries and Ozempic? What do you think about that stuff?
Oh, I am not a fan of Ozempic. I had a coworker who tried to encourage me to get it, and yeah, I barely want to do a flu shot. So I definitely don't want to, unless I need to do it, with my doctor's advice. But I'm just not a fan of that kind of stuff
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
feel like also those quick weight loss, not tricks, but just, the quick weight loss things that you need to do, you have to keep it up. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you can get that done, but then what happens when you're going to take that forever? You're going to take that shot forever. Like you still have to work on your weight. So what's the point of injecting something in your body to give you that quick fix? And then when it's over, what? You still got to go back
Right.
to square one
Right.
again. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So why not just do it naturally? It might not be as fast. Yes, 12, 13 weeks in, I'm down 15, 20 pounds, something like that.
Woo!
But I'd rather see me do it slowly or naturally, because this is something I plan on continuing to doing for the
Me
for the rest
too.
of my life. I don't want to
Mhm.
shoot something up in me and then who knows the side effects to that as well.
That part.
So I don't want to do something like that. And then when I stop, the weight will come back on.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely am not a fan of those type of things. But whatever
Yeah.
works for you, hey, do you. But for me, I just prefer to do things naturally.
Yeah. You,
So
Miss Clear?
me, I've tried everything. I've tried Dr. Fisher. I've tried anything you could think of. I've tried it. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I started walking because I'm like, all right, well, I've tried this for so, different things. So I want to let me see what consistency looks like. And like I said, I'm not a consistent person at all. The fact that I've been consistent this long, like I said, that's why I'm counting the days. But um, like I said, I'm a yo-yo dieter. So I said, well, if I try it this way, then maybe this might be different. I don't knock anybody who does anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, because I've done it for so long, I've done different things for different fads, different things, and um different things that they I lose the weight fast, but then I gain it fast. So that's why I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to make small changes. Like I went to a birthday party yesterday, I ate some cake, but I didn't take any cake home. Did I want to? Yes, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to make different changes that will get me together. And I'm trying to learn too, because I used to be addicted to food, or I really like food, like food really, really bad. I like it. So like if I go to Red Lobster, I'm eating the biscuits at Red Lobster. I'm saying, can I have something to go? But now I notice myself not even touch the bread, or if I do, I might have one piece of bread and that's it. I'm not taking rolls home, and because now it's lingering. It's like you keep on wanting to do it. So I'm just trying to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I want to be here. I want to live a good life. So I'm just trying to do better, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm basically trying to do. So
Yeah.
just trying to get better at what I'm doing.
And for
Yeah.
the weight loss surgery, I think that's okay. But again, you still have to keep up with your eating habits. Like it will still gradually come back. I've seen plenty of people that got the surgery and then boom, about a year or two later, they didn't keep up. They thought that was a quick fix and that's all they had to do. But you still have to eat properly. So, again, I'd rather just try it this
Yeah.
way to keep it,
Yeah. What one of the things about like the weight loss surgery, I work in the OR, so I get to see a lot of this stuff up hand and up close.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the mutilation of the body, recovery. Uh, they don't tell you all about what's in recovery,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I guess more so in the beginning of it, the people wanted to make sure that you were psychologically ready for what was about to happen. And most people were interested in the quick fix of it all. But what they don't tell you is that you lose weight faster than you could ever keep up with it. And most people are really unhappy with the aesthetic of their body after. Because you lose more weight than you can keep up with, you have
Mm-hmm.
saggy skin. So then comes the thing, okay, how can I get rid of this skin? So now you have to have yet another surgery to deal with your saggy skin.
Right.
And it's just, I haven't met one person in my close circle that has had this surgery and that's happy with it. They're all miserable. They hate their bodies.
Mm.
So I guess working out, eating well, um, staying consistent, and having a great attitude is the formula.
It is.
Yeah, now
It
some
is. It's
people
life
might
changing.
need it. Oh, go ahead, kid. So I think that also some people might need it as the beginning. Like some people
Hmm.
might need it as a as a tool. Like say somebody
Hmm.
like my grandma, maybe she might need it because she's obese. She wants to get the weight off so she can move faster, or
True.
somebody like that.
Hmm.
So I
True.
think that maybe you may need it, but then like you said, afterwards you have to walk. You have to
Hmm.
exercise. You have to keep it going. So I think that if anybody is on here, like I said, not knocking any tool that people use, but if anybody is on here to just say, try to stay active, or not
Hmm.
try, definitely get active, or get
Hmm.
active before that, or at least just walk a little bit and maybe take each time each day. Because some people say, well, I don't know if I can walk 3 miles. I don't know if I can, or they might say, oh, I just walked a little mile. It's not a little mile. If that's what you're doing, if that's what you could do, it's a big mile. It's a big deal. Or they
Hmm.
might say, I only lost 5 pounds. 5 pounds is a lot.
That's a
I really
right.
want to
Mhm.
encourage you to, not look at me, be better than yourself. So if you were on the couch and you got off the couch, that's amazing.
Mhm.
Kia has knee replacements. The fact that she's walking a mile, half a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles is blowing my mind because you've had knee replacements. So
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with a mile. There's nothing wrong with 2 miles. If that's what you could do, me, I'm not up to 6 miles yet. Some people walk 6 miles a day, but I'm
Yeah.
not. Stop focusing on other
Mhm.
people. They always used to tell us, don't focus on, don't look at somebody else's paper or focus, stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you have to do.
Mhm.
Focus on yourself. Chike rides his bike to work. I couldn't even ride that long. I could ride a stationary bike.
Right.
But I want people to look at what you can do and do better than that. If you're only, because some people don't like to drink water, if you only had a bottle of water, tomorrow try 2 bottles of water.
Yes.
Kia is walking so good, but she's not really a hilly person. She's starting to get in the hills. Do what your body can do.
Mhm.
You might
Mhm.
not be able to walk 5 hills a day, but the fact that you're outside and walking, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And I just have to say thank you to Kia because Kia has been one of my very consistent accountability partners, and she doesn't even know she's inspiring me. Like
Oh,
with
thank
knee
you.
replacements, with job, with kids, Kia, you are so amazing. And you
Oh,
you don't
thank
even
you.
know. People
Thank
are seeing
you.
you, your cousins, some of your family members hop on our lives and
Mhm.
they're like, oh, I'm walking now, or oh, I'm so just the fact, even if you can inspire one person, two-person, 2 people, you don't have to have a lot of followers. Who knows? Your cousin might have been, not able to walk, or might be mentally, might have just been about to,
Mhm.
do something bad at work or something like that. And let's talk about the mental effects of it. Mentally, it helps me set the tone of my day. It gives me clarity. It makes me feel good. Not just of me losing weight, but makes me feel so good in the morning that I've accomplished something. And
Yes.
mentally, because a lot is going on in the world. Mentally, you walking is really good. And that's not just
Mhm.
the health, weight health.
Mhm.
Mentally is really good. So, but Kia, I just want to tell you, you are inspiring me, girl,
Thank
and
you. You
you're
inspire me as well.
amazing.
Thank you. And you inspire me as well. And it was because of you I am here. So I want to thank you as well. And a little off topic, I just want to showcase my glitz and glamour pieces.
Oh,
You
thank you.
know,
See, you representing for
let's
both of us because
let's
I didn't even put any jewelry
yes,
on.
let's hit up glitz and
Oh,
glamour and
thank you.
just,
Oh, not
shop,
that she
You
shop,
know,
put on
shop.
all her jewelry this morning.
No, I didn't put it all on y'all. Y'all don't want to see everything I have.
Oh, give
But
them a
this is just
little taste,
this
little
is just
taste,
a
little
little
taste.
sample of how beautiful her jewelry is.
Oh,
And
thank
she
you
has
see,
you.
other
Kia
things as
understood
well.
the assignment. This is what we do here. And
Yes.
actually, I have a fitness guru just popped into the room. Shout out to Cardio Kai. He has an awesome story. Please check out his conversations with Chike Evans. It should be uh, maybe a year or two back. I did an interview with him. He has a great story, but he's a fitness expert as well. Please follow him.
Oh, that's
Okay.
amazing.
And another thing that I'm going to add to is do not be a slave to the scale. Do not look at don't weigh yourself and compare that to what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working out and you're building weight, you're going to weigh more because you're building muscle.
Abs-
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Absolutely.
So don't get
Yes.
discouraged by high poundage. Worry
Mm-hmm.
about inches and how you fit in your clothes. Let
Yep.
that be the Geiger counter on
Yep.
what you're doing with yourself.
Yep. And that's what I said. I have uniforms, so them uniforms let me know that
Yeah.
yes, you're
No,
doing
Kia.
you're doing it.
True story. Couple years, well, not a couple years back, quite a few years back, I was a sleep tech. So I only worked overnight and I had to wear
Mm-hmm.
scrubs. So working overnight, I didn't really go out during the day too much. It was just work at night and at
That's
home. And then one
right.
day I had to go to an event and I had to put on some serious clothes and I went to pull up them pants and I had a little difficulty. I hadn't put on real clothes in a while. And this is how stuff
Mm-hmm.
can creep up on you when you
Mm-hmm.
don't know. You know what I mean? And then so I was like, well, I got to get to getting because the inches had grew and I had to do something about it. But be diligent about how your clothes fit.
Mm-hmm.
When you wear scrubs for a living, that's drawstring and elastics all day long. You don't really have a true Geiger counter as to what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing with your weight or with your size, I should say.
Right.
Yes.
TK,
Yes.
can I ask you a question? So you're a man, right? We are
Yes.
women. Tell us different problems or issues that you face because we're on the other side looking in. Like I said, I've never been small. So I suffered in high school, okay?
Hmm.
But tell us in your because we have a lot of women on here. Tell
Hmm.
us in your experience, like, do you have challenges too? Because I know men lose weight faster than women, but also tell us how you feel. But then I also want you to tell us how you feel. Well, let me ask you that first question. Tell us how you feel. Do you experience any challenges with trying to lose weight, trying to stay fit? Do you think in dating, do you think that that matters? Like, give us some men insight so we can know how it feels on the men's side.
Sure. So yes, 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 and yes. I'm a former athlete. I was a track runner. I was on the track teams, on the volleyball team. Um, I did a lot. I was very active, and it was no problem for me to deal with weight until I got into my 40s. Then things started to change.
Okay.
It didn't slow down too much because if I slacked off, all I had to do was get right back on and I would snap back into place.
Right.
Well, the later 40s, getting into 50, that changed. I
Okay.
couldn't just jump back into it and work out real quick and snatch it right back. So, yes, men do suffer from body images to the point I'm making a joke, but one of my cousins used to call me a manorexic. She said I was a manorexia. I had manorexia and I worry about my weight too much. When you have been pretty healthy most of your life and aesthetically you start to change, that means something. I mean, you're going to pay attention to that, especially if you've been a certain way most of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, will I say it's easy for me? No, because I don't like to work out. I told you that.
Okay.
And more so now that I'm older, it's more of an energy level.
Right.
It has nothing to do with my desire and my want, because I always want to be fit.
Okay.
It's the energy level for me. So now I have to find ways to trick myself in order to do it, because if I don't do it in the space and time in which I have the energy and I'm thinking about it, it probably won't get done.
Right.
So it's a mental thing. It all starts in your mind. It's about the inspiration and it's about the mental. Me personally, I never really liked going to the gym. I'm a person, I don't even like to have a workout partner because working out for me, when I really work out, is spiritual. It's like
Right.
me and God, and I'm manifesting and I'm praying at the same time. I'm sweating, I'm purging my body of like all the impurities. It's really a whole thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's journey is different. I don't expect for anybody to be like me. Actually, most of my friends um, that work out, they find my ways weird because I seclude myself. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it
But for me,
works for you.
working out is a very private and personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's your other question? I'm sorry. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you answered the question. Another question is, do you believe that if I heard you say some of your friends are fit? So one of the problems that I have is um I have a lot of friends, but some of my friends do not. They may not want to work out, so that's why I, opened up my platform. I'm working out with Key. I'm working out with
Mm-hmm.
other people, but some of them do want to work out. But my question to you is, with men, you're saying that your friends are fit
Mm-hmm.
now, but I heard you don't work out with them.
Right.
But as far as women, like, say if I tell my friends, like, oh, girl, let's go to happy hour, let's go here, let's go there, they ready to go do that. But when I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you want to go to the track, you want to work out, they like, so it's like, do you have like your friends that are fit? Are most of your friends fit? Because you know how they say if you hang around with, the four people you hang around, if they are working at, I don't know, Chop, or if they make money, or if all they do is go to the bar and drink Four Locos, then of course you might be doing that too. So, do you feel like all of your friends are fit, or how are they?
So this is just me. I'm not making a general statement about most men. It's just me and my set and my circle. My single friends are fit. My married friends, less so.
Okay.
So, um, I'll say this: my single fit friends may be single and fit for a reason.
Okay.
My married friends, they have the ability to slack off. If
Right.
you pick up what I'm laying down.
Right.
And that's how it normally goes with a lot, well, I should say, my circle of male friends. That's how it
Okay.
goes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Okay. Another.
I think that especially with the culture now, what I do notice is that a lot of younger people are being diligent about fitness, but I'm a little afraid, and I'm not in their heads or anything, but I'm a little afraid that it's more about aesthetic and an audience as opposed to health and fitness. Because you
Mhm.
see the tripods in the gym, you see the cameras in the gym,
The
Yeah.
cute
everybody wants to
outfits,
be a
they're
trainer.
cute outfits, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and that's all well and good, whatever it takes to get you healthy. But at the same time, when that fad leaves, because it will at some point in time, will you still remain that person or will you push on past that?
Right.
What what does that mean at the end of the day, having a tripod and a camera in the gym? What if you cease to have an audience? Will you still continue to be fit for yourself as opposed to you have this whole content thing that you're sharing?
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
I
So,
think that it's cool. I think that right now it's cool to exercise. It's
yeah.
cool to wear the lime green outfit, or it's cool to wear the tights to make your butt look
Hmm.
big. It's cool. So I think that that's what the younger generation is getting. But I honestly, I remember a time when, I think also when we were younger, we were able to walk all the way. We walked, like I was telling somebody, I used to walk from South Street, the top of South Street where the sub let you off, all the
Hmm.
way down to Second Street.
Hmm.
Even if it was just to get the pizza at Lorenzo's at Second Street, you knew you
Yeah.
had to walk from the top. But it was
Uh-huh.
fun back then.
Yes.
Mhm.
You didn't worry about them shooting up South Street or something like that. You were able to walk that far from here to there. Or say if the bus wasn't coming, I was telling someone, if SEPTA wasn't coming, you will walk until you see the bus coming.
Hmm.
Right.
Now we have cell phones where we could look and see when the bus is coming. Remember, we had the paper, so you didn't. When you had the paper, you was like, "Oh, the bus not here."
The
Okay,
schedule.
you
Looking
would
at the
just
Yeah.
keep
schedule.
on walking. So I
Yeah.
think that too, we were so much more active. We used to at some point, if you live near the school, you could walk to school.
Yeah.
Like you said, you have a bike, but now the kids these days, I heard one of my girlfriends, you don't even have to be in the Uber. You could put your kid in the Uber. You could put food in the Uber. Now you could, if you sell hair, you can put your hair in the Uber. You could send somebody, say, Chike, if you wanted something, if Kia had to give you something, right? And Kia lives downtown
Hmm.
and she wanted it to get to the Northeast, you could put whatever, it doesn't matter what it was. Say if it was a bag of soup or some Smirnoff. You could put it in the Uber. You could call the Uber, put it in the Uber. It'll come to you and you can sign. Like, it's just so much. It's so fast
Right.
now. So I
Yes.
think that that's what another thing is too. You had to walk. You had to or say, you had to walk, or say like the trans pass, say you lost your trans pass at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month. You had to figure out a way, because you might have only had that $40. So I think it's a little bit different now too, where we were able to walk more but now everybody wants to record everything. Like I said, not knocking, the gym on St. Line Avenue, but I would never go there because I'd be too scared. Like, Dad, maybe I don't got on the perfect tights. Maybe I'm not this. Maybe I'm not that. So,
Right.
um,
And,
like you
and
said,
I want to
YouTube.
share with you a conversation that I had with one of my friends. He's an athlete. Um, he's not mainstream or anything, but he's only 27,
Right.
and he started taking enhancement supplements. And I don't mean just pills. He started injecting,
Oh.
and
Mm,
like I was furious. Like, why are you doing that? And he was like, well, I
mhm,
want to be big, and he, not that I'm like the best person, but he was like, you're older and, you're fit and you have a nice body. And I was like, I had to work at this. This didn't come. This is at the time, 45 years, of me getting to this point. I was like, and you're
mhm.
trying to build yourself up overnight. I was like, you're only 27. Do you have any idea what these hormones are going to do to you as you
Yeah,
age?
man.
You don't know
Mhm,
how this is going to break down in your system. You're not seeing a doctor for one. You order them online, all for your aesthetic, all for
mhm,
whatever it is that you think that someone wants to appreciate. It's not
mhm,
worth it. I said, these things can
mhm,
give you a heart attack. You could wind up not having children. You don't know where this is going
mhm,
to end, but you're doing all this for the sake of a look. Stop.
mhm,
Chill.
mhm.
And I think
Right.
that a lot of people are embracing this mindset, and I need other people to do that too. This, what you ladies are doing, is very organic. When people are following these TikTok people and they're seeing them online, and they're, but I call them the tripod people in the gym, because some people are really there trying to work out. You're setting up camera like you're about to film a whole movie in the way of people really there. And that's a discouraging. People don't want to go to the gym because they don't want to deal with that. But anyway,
Right.
um, you have these people that post up and they call themselves content creators and they're trying to be inspiration to other people, but what they're not telling you is that they are enhancing, they are taking things to make them look the way that they look, and they're portraying and perpetrating a fraud, old school saying, perpetrating a fraud in the gym when that's not really your life. You're in the gym for maybe an hour to a half hour more filming than you are actually working out, and you're
Mhm,
going home and you're injecting and getting the body that you're telling everybody that you work so hard for, when it's not true. Smoke and
Right.
mirrors.
mhm.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that everybody wants this popcorn body. They want it fast. Like, people think, even with opening up a business, they think you're gonna get your EIN, get an LLC. Next thing you know, you got a business, you buy Gucci, you buy a house, a Benz, and that's it. They think that it happens boom, 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 boom. So I think that that's how it is with the younger generation too. They think that if you work out for a month, because people are telling you, if you work out for a month, this is what's going to happen. Or they tell you, oh, you do some 20 squats, your butt going to look like this.
Mhm.
Not smart enough to realize, okay, in the first part of the video, you have on regular tights from Old Navy. The second part of the video, you have on Amazon tights that got the scrunch in the butt that's going to make your butt look bigger. It's the same ass. It's the same thing. So they don't tell you these things. Or
Mhm,
they might wear black in one video, or this, that, and the third. So um, I just want to encourage people to not, like I said, not worry about what other people are doing. Try to worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Worry about what you have going on. Don't just think, like I said, you're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow because you opened up a business. It doesn't work like that. That's the same thing with your body. Like you said, TK, it took you years to take care of your body, especially if you were an athlete, especially if you probably are still kind of eating healthy, working at the hospital. It takes years of this. It's not just overnight success.
Right.
So that's another thing I want to show people too, that it's not overnight success for me. I'm taking it every day. I'm walking with Kia. That's why I'm showing people every day that I'm walking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And even when I mess up, sometimes I might put drinks in my stories. I'm not telling them I'm not having a drink because I'm a socialite. So I go out. I'm invited to birthday parties, all kinds of stuff all the time.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm a socialite. So I'm going out, I'm drinking, but I'm drinking less. I'm not eating as much. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
am trying to do better, but I want people to see that they can do it too. You
Yeah.
know?
And it's not about being judgmental. It's not pointing a finger at anybody or saying that what anyone is doing is wrong. But sometimes there's a better way of doing it. And sometimes what you're looking at is not necessarily what you're seeing.
Right.
That's the point that I really want to make. There's a bunch of pump faking going on here. And don't take, because what happens when you do that, when you take that gospel for the gospel, you get discouraged because it's not reality,
Right.
Mhm.
because it could never be reality, because they're leaving components out, having you thinking that it's real, and then you're doing the
Right.
same thing that they're doing or what they're allegedly saying that they're doing, and then it's like, why
Mhm.
can't it work for me? And then you don't want to do it anymore because it's not working. Well, the gotcha is it's not working for them either, because that's not what they're doing.
Right.
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 That's so true. That's
Right.
so true. That's definitely what's so true.
Mhm.
So, but before I leave you, ladies, first of all, I want to thank you for your time and your energy and the inspiration.
Thank
But I want to
you.
talk to you
Yes.
too about this possible thing of us having a black female president. What do you think about that?
Oh goodness, now don't even go there. Don't even go there. But I go ahead, Ken. You can tell them first.
Um, let's just say it's going to be interesting. I mean, I
And
lost for
I'll tell you.
words for that, but I don't know. Like I'm just sitting back and watching.
Okay. All
Me
right.
personally, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing to see a woman president. If that comes into fruition, I just think it's amazing. I thought it was amazing with the whole Barack thing. I'm excited for it. A
Yeah.
lot of people are saying that people aren't ready, but who's not ready? Because you figure we've always been ready for everything, and maybe I'm just the hopeful millennial that is hoping for something. I mean, if we've had other presidents for so long and they didn't do that great, then I mean, just let a woman try or let somebody else try.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like Barack. But I'm a positive person anyway, so maybe you can't really ask me because I'm so positive and thinking that maybe this will be good.
Yes.
And even if it doesn't go the way we want it, it's still the fact that she was able to run. You know what I
Right.
mean? So the
It's
fact
definitely
that
making
that's
history.
amazing to see
Mhm.
in our time frame. So like I said, I talk about my grandmom a lot, but my grandmom said she never thought she would see a black president.
Right.
I don't care if y'all say he mixed, Kamala's mixed. Who cares? They still got black in them. You know what I mean? So, but what I'm saying is just to hear my grandmom or other people that's older than me say how amazing it is, because I have one friend that's my age. All my other friends are older. You know what I mean? They're older. Like I'm talking about 50, 60. So to hear them talk about it, I feel like it's amazing. When I was in grade school, I went to my first grade school was predominantly black. And we had to interview someone who was a slave. I mean,
Mm.
she was like a child of a slave, or she was coming up out of out of slavery. And I just think that certain things today's kids will not see. So I just think it's amazing for us to see those things. Like once you really get a chance to talk to someone and you see what they went through and you see how we were or different things, it turns your whole thing. So that's why I think that the kids these days, they will never see that. They don't know how hard it is. They, like I said, they just think it's easy. They're so privileged. They don't know how, like, even though racism is still going on, they're just getting the end of it. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So they never even got a chance to see, different things that we got to see, the stories that we hear from our grandparents or different things. So I just think before my grandma passes away, that it's amazing that she is able, because my grandma's 78, 77, it's amazing to see her
Yeah.
excited, even if we're not excited, even if other people aren't excited to see. Because remember, they thought that they were going to try to unalive Barack, and they didn't. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking that, like I said, this is amazing for the older people to see, the older generation, just to have them have some type of hope, even if it's just before they leave this earth. You know.
Right. Right.
So that's why I just think it's good. But like I said, I'm a positive person anyway, and I always think positive. So I'm just like I see the glass half full instead of half empty. So
Right. And I'm with you. I'm a positive person. I'm saying let's go. Let's do the damn thing.
Hmm.
But I'll make it as simplistic as this. You know what the alternative is.
right,
Right.
It doesn't matter if Kermit the Frog was on the other side.
right,
You want that?
right,
'Cause to me, with us still being listed as not human on the books legally,
right,
that's a path back to slavery.
right, right,
Right.
And people think, oh, that will never happen. No, they took abortion
It,
away. People thought that would never go away.
yes.
They took that away.
That's crazy.
You can wind
That's
up in a
absolutely
box with
crazy.
chains again.
right,
This alternative looks great to me. And the
Right.
fact that she is African American, Jamaican, or Asian, call her whatever you want to call her. She could be green for all I care. This option is great compared to this option over here.
right,
Absolutely.
right,
So I
Absolutely.
think it's just a matter of people really understanding what's at stake. And to all of those children, and I say children, if anybody that's under 25 who can vote, um, you need to talk to somebody older because I know you really don't know because you probably don't own any property yet. You probably haven't had a sufficient amount of years in a career yet to pay taxes to know better. But you're going to wish that you had paid attention and made the right choice if that happens the other way because all those freedoms and amenities that you think you have now, they're going to be gone.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
And the sad
Baby.
part is I hear a lot of young people thinking that Trump gave them that COVID money. And I'm like, yeah,
No,
that's no.
no.
You gotta do your homework. You can get yeah.
And, and, and,
right,
and that's the part. Like, he's very good at the whole smoke and mirrors thing because he's a reality TV show person. And that's
Okay.
how I think a lot of people got caught up in that web because, first of all, oh, he'd be good because he's a good businessman. He's a good businessman. Based off of what? The lights, camera, and the action?
right,
He was a horrible businessman. I'm from the state of New Jersey, where he basically tore down Atlantic City with his casinos. I witnessed it firsthand. And don't ask a New Yorker about him. A New Yorker will tell you from years and years and years back how he was.
right,
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
no. Um, I urge people, if you haven't been out of the country before November, before you make, your choice, go out of the country and see how other countries are living, and maybe you'll appreciate being in this country a little bit better. Because
right.
you really truly don't get a full grasp of what's going on in this world until you visit other countries and you see how they're living. And you won't
Abs-
believe it. Trust me, you won't believe it.
Absolutely.
right.
Ladies, I appreciate
Oh,
you.
can I say
And
one more thing, TK?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, I just want to say before we close too, I would like women or just men to put aside your excuses, like with working out or getting active. I used to be one of those people who used to say, "Oh, I don't have my headphones today. I'm not working out," or "Oh, I don't have my watch. I lost my watch for 2 months. The first 2 months of me walking, I did not have a watch, and I just used my phone. And my sister had bought me my watch or whatever, my Apple Watch, but I had lost it, and I didn't even let that be an excuse for me. So your other excuses. I don't have a car to get to the gym. I don't have a Planet Fitness membership. I don't have an LA Fitness membership. A lot of times, a lot of the jobs give you free memberships because they want you to stay active so you can come to work every day. A lot of even if you don't have a job, welfare, they give you free gym membership. I don't have a gym membership right now, but because I like walking, I don't like the treadmill. But I'm just saying, a lot of times we tell ourselves excuses, and we give ourselves, it actually becomes like insanity or delusion that you cannot do these things. Like, oh, I need to have this, I need to have the perfect workout clothes, I need to have on the perfect bra, I need to have on I need to drink pH balanced 7 water, you know. So you, until you can get to where you need to go, get these things done. You know what I mean? So what, you may not have the perfect water. Okay, put some lemons in your water and pretend that it's the best water in the world. Or pretend that you have music. You might have to sing to yourself. You might have to put your phone on speaker and walk.
Mhm.
But I'm just trying to tell people, for years and years and years, I let myself I let excuses lead me, and I want people to put aside those excuses, you know, or I'm 300 pounds, I can't walk, or my knees is bad, my hips are bad. The first couple of weeks, you know, your hip is going to hurt a little bit because your body is not used to walking. So I
Mhm.
just want people to put those excuses away and to really just try and take it one day at a time, because then you will be able to do things. Now your hip is not hurting, or now you are able to get better water, or now you've been walking, so now you can buy the lime green workout outfit you want to wear. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? My goal is to one day be able to wear the sports bra and the tights. You know, it's not going to be low, it's going to be high waisted. But I'm just saying to say that put your excuses aside and really get up and try. And that's one of the reasons why we have women in the group. I'm 38, he is 55, my mom is 58. My dad, he even started walking with us. He's 61. What I'm saying is, put the excuses aside and you could say, I could do it too. You don't have to be small, you don't have to be big. Just try every day. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I want to touch on something that you said about the whole putting the lemon in the water thing, because if unless water is like ice cold, like I have a problem with it. However, lemon, grapefruit, and lime also cuts fat.
Oh,
So when you add lemon to the water, you're also putting, a fat burner in your water naturally.
Mhm.
right.
That part.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have a
Yes.
question to ask you, since you asked me a question as a man. I have a question to ask you, you being a woman. You too, Kia. What's with these ladies and the excuses? I'ma sweat out my hair. So you rather have an ass that cross countries rather than sweat your hair out?
Okay, let Kia go first. Go
Well,
ahead, Kia.
yeah, a lot of women pay some good money to get their hair done. So, it's just a thing, Hopefully, at some point, they will start to get hairstyles that'll accommodate sweat. Like you see me in the braids, and Tiara has a protective hairstyle where you can try to tweak that and just get something that will allow you to work out or walk, whatever you want to do, and also keep your hair nice. You can wrap it up. There are things you can do to alternate, that excuse. But, you know, I guess they're
Okay.
going to.
Because as a man, whenever I hear a woman say that, she get the screw face from me. Like, please, seriously? But you're
Yeah.
complaining about fitting in a dress, but then over here you complaining that you're gonna sweat. Well, you can't get to where you're gonna go without sweating. You gotta sweat.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you have to get the styles that accommodates that.
Right.
So,
So I think that it's also that women are afraid, especially if you are a single woman and you're trying to date, and say if the guy, I'm hearing that some guys like you not to wear weaves, or some, but how can I not wear a weave? But listen, TK, listen, let me say this. If I'm not wearing a weave, right? But I'm getting my hair braided. I
Hmm.
have to get my hair braided to have a protective style. My hair is to the bottom of my bra. Like, I have long hair, but
Hmm.
I have to wear these protective styles. Now, this part is a weave. Yes. This part is all braided up. You can't see it. So I try to wear the cute styles, or say
Hmm.
if I know, I'll try to schedule my hair around different things. Like, so say
Hmm.
if I'm going to a wedding, then I know I might have to get weave in the back, or I know I might have to, because my hair is not going to last in this humidity. One. Now, I do wear my hair out here and there in the wintertime,
Hmm.
but I'm trying to wear a protective style. So I think that in dating, maybe when you're meeting a man and you might have to tell him, like, hey, I'm not going to be, or maybe like when you're getting into a relationship, tell him, like, once he sees your long hair, hey, I have to braid my hair up so that I can work out, or I have to use a protective style, but just realistically, men should understand that. Like I feel
And,
like they
and,
should
and
see how their
so
mom was. No, wait, TK, wait. They should understand that I have to wear a protective style. Like I said, I have long hair, but right now the humidity is crazy. It's been raining on and off every day. Then it's like if you want me to go to a pool party, how am I supposed to wear my real hair at a pool party? Then I'm gonna get out the water, and I
no,
just feel like men sometimes have unrealistic expectations, and how am I going to do all of this? Or how am I going to be, be every day? Like Kia, she works overnight. Every day she gets up, boom, 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 boom. How am I going to do my hair in the morning, do this, do that, and still be able to work out? Now I'm not going to work out.
very true. And so my thing about that, and this is me, I'm speaking about me. I love natural styles. You see, I got locks. You have locks, you have braids. The protective style with the braids is cool. The issue that I have is those women that, and I don't mean to disparage anybody that's on here that may have the creamy crack in their hair or they use the straight comb, and they want that European look. That's the part that bothers me. You have your hair straight and stuff, and you worried about, your edges being smooth and neat and nice, and then you're complaining about, you're heavy or you're not well, but you don't want to sweat. That's the part for me. Braids, locks, kinky, nappy hair, that's all cool with me. I love that,
But it's
actually.
cool for you, TK, when
Yeah, that's
when
what I'm saying.
women
For me,
yeah, when other women are dating men, they're trying to say if you're trying to get a husband or you're trying to date, you're single, and say they might meet you. Say they meet you at the hospital, they meet you at the market. They may, even though you have locks, they may not know what you like. So
hmm
they're trying to keep up with social media. They're trying to keep up with. They might say, "Dad, I really like TK, but I don't know if he gonna like this or I don't know if he gonna like that." So then they get the weave, and then you like, oh no, red flag, pop the butt balloon or whatever they be doing now. So you say, oh, red flag, she just got a weave. First of all, I met her, she was wearing natural styles. Now she got a weave. It's like the conversation needs to be had between you two if you guys are dating.
Mm-hmm.
To say, hey, I do like your natural hair. It's okay if you put braids in, babe. Or, hey, I like them natural, but not saying that the woman is going to keep it like that. But a lot of women are scared, especially I've been hearing that the dating pool has piss in it and it's bad. So
yeah,
they might not meet somebody like you who's understanding of braids. They might meet the person who wants you to look like a supermodel as soon as you wake up. We all saw in Whitley would wake up in the morning and brush her teeth and all that half an hour before Dwayne got up just so she could look aesthetically beautiful. And we all think she was already beautiful. But it was
yeah,
funny in that. But a lot of women, they're trying to please the man. They're trying to look good. And if you want to get a man down the aisle, sometimes you want to get, you want to be always beautiful for him, or you want to do the social media thing.
yeah,
Mm.
that's true. One of the most beautiful sights, because I'm watching the Olympics and watching the women in track and field and watching the hairstyles and just as the camera goes along the starting line and they're showing the women, they're just beautiful. Every last one of them are beautiful. All the different hairstyles too, beautiful. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is that you do, you're beautiful. I just don't like the complaining when it comes to your health and your physical fitness.
Yeah,
This or that.
right. You got to choose what's most important and tweak it. You can't have both.
Hey,
So,
listen, here's the thing. Braids for the summer, go hard in the summer months, pull back a little bit in the cooler months. That way you can change your hairstyle. Be moderate. You don't have to go hard. Summer months come around again, you go hard.
hmm
Or you can do vice versa, because some people like to work out in the winter for the summer body. Vice versa. You don't have to do it all year round. But, compromise. Just a suggestion.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of alternatives. It's just all about you.
Yeah,
What you, what's
yeah,
what's
true,
important. You
true.
know.
Right. And I'm reading some of the comments too is that the women are saying that it's hard. It's hard to have your hair one way and then work out, but they are still working out. But they're saying that different braids, and then a lot of the men too. I think that a lot of the men want your. What I'm saying is a lot of men, they want you to have the best body and they want you to have European hair or they want you to have straight hair. You're saying it's okay, but a lot of men, they want you to look like you just stepped
Mm.
off the
The
magazine
runway.
or the beach.
Hmm.
They
Again, going
you're not really
back to
realistic, TK. So we can't say you.
exactly going back to what I was saying before. You're falling into something that really doesn't even exist.
Right.
Right, right. And maybe you might meet a man who might like to work out. You know what I mean? A woman might meet a man who might like to work out or might not mind her walking or might not mind the hair or whatever like that. So they might say, oh, okay, well, I understand, you're beautiful. But a lot of these men, sometimes because we joke about it, they want you to be so fit, but then they got the beer belly. Or they want you to wash clothes, do all this stuff. And their mom wasn't even like this. So now, not trying to be shading anybody's mom, but what do you want? Your mom was big and fat, so now you don't want me to be big and fat? Like, you know what I mean? So I think that I'm talking about because I have a platform and I listen to women and I'm hearing them when they're shopping with me, I'm hearing them say these different things. Oh, one last question for you, TK.
Sure.
Do you like a nice woman? My friends and I are having this argument where if you're too nice, then people don't like you. So say if you're a man and you're really, really nice, you might get ghosted or another woman might not like you because you're too nice. So is it a thing where the men on the men's side, men don't like women that's too nice? Because what's wrong with somebody that's nice? I don't understand
Well,
it.
I can actually flip that around because I've been told by certain women, pretty much since I ain't been to jail, I'm not man enough for them.
Oh,
I'm
What?
then we
just
really
saying,
doomed.
they're out there. They're out there. They want someone who's a killer,
Toxic.
and so that's the opposite. Because I do prefer someone that's nice. To me, niceness conveys you're closer to God. That's how I look at that. If
Right.
you're nice and you have manners and you know how to talk to me and you're more on the demure side, I'm looking for the God in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the women are saying they would never date anybody who went to jail, but some of the women, they get a nice guy like you,
Hmm.
right? And they're saying, wait a minute, he got a job, he got his own house, he don't live with us, he's not pump faking saying that his mom lived with him. Because when people tell you that their mom don't live with with you, you really live with your mom. Let's keep it a
Right.
bean. That's what was really going on.
Or they hit you
Wait a minute.
with, look, I just moved back home to help my mom out a little bit, you know.
The biggest lie in
Yes.
the world, right? Or
They
they
never
might
left.
say, "Oh, TK is corny. He ride his bike to work. Like
Listen, I'm very
girl, I don't
pointy.
think he even. This is how they're thinking, girl. I don't even think he got a car. Like, why he trying to talk to me and he ride his bike to work, not knowing. I'm not saying that you do, but who knows? You might have a Benz at home, or you might have a car at home. But
So
they just see you riding your bike to work. They didn't get a chance to know you
mhm.
to say, oh, he's fit. He's trying to just stay fit. So that's why he rides. Oh, I like now somebody like me might say, oh, he's fit. Like, I really like that. Then I'm getting fit. He's getting fit. Like, maybe we could go together. Not saying we can go together, but I'm just saying.
Right, right, right.
Another woman might not like that. They might think you just off the wall corny because you ride your bike to work. And they might say, oh, he don't have no car. Like, I know he don't got no car. Like,
Mhm.
oh, or he not gonna be able to even take me on a date. Like, I know he work at the hospital and everything, but he don't got no money because he don't drive a Benz.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. And so again, we fall into that aesthetic situation. And since we're talking about this, like we're going into a whole nother thing, but I've been dying to talk about this anyway. This whole dating thing, I think, is very on trend. It's trendy. I don't think it has anything to do with what any individual person really wants. I think it's turning into you making your individual needs based off of what's going on with the
Right.
masses. If the masses are into this, then now the individual gets into it because this is what's hot.
Right.
How many times has a girl, or have you overheard situations with women where, oh girl, you dating him because you're not supposed to do this because another woman will let someone sprinkle or put something on
Mm,
that situation to augment how now she thinks of this man that she was probably once interested in,
right. But
based
but
off
your
of
friend
the
don't even
trend.
have a man.
That
Your friend
part,
not married, never even been
that
engaged. Your
part.
friend don't even have anybody. But you listening to your friend who don't have anybody, and you might have liked the guy.
Hmm.
Whether he was, I mean, whether you might have really liked him. It's like
Mhm.
some women be like, oh, his nose too big. Oh, he just that. I might like a big nose.
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And as opposed to the other way around with men, we're purely aesthetic. I'm just telling the truth. We're aesthetic. We're on looks first.
Right.
We're very plain that way, and then we look at everything else beyond that. You pull us in, and then we're going to start picking things apart after the fact.
Right.
If you can keep up the facade, we'll probably buy into it
Okay.
because it's appeasing to us.
Right.
But that's how we operate.
Right.
I think that whole dating dynamic and all that, I think is very interesting because I like to get into the psychology of things.
Mm.
Um, and I think that with us, people of color, I think that we probably have it worse because not only are we dealing with our own issues, but we're buying into whatever they tell us that we should be doing.
Right.
We're being dictated by categories and stipulations that don't really even apply to us.
Right.
Just like we were talking about that whole look, that whole European look, that doesn't apply to us. That's not real.
Right.
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 So I don't know. We have to
Right.
do better, and we have to do better for each other. But I'm just here to say there's a home for corny people. Corny people have
Mm.
their place.
Yeah,
Mm.
my sister just said she liked corny people. She liked the corny men.
Listen,
Me
I'm a
too.
Marvel head. I'm a science geek. I think I go to the Franklin Institute at least 2 or 3 times a year. I like education. I like to be satisfied mentally.
Yes.
Right.
Listen, actually, that's like a go-to of mine. The Franklin Institute is the first date. I normally find out when then and there if you rocking with me or not. If you
Right.
say, "What the hell is this?" You're not for me.
Right. If they don't like them, okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing the women, well, not the millennials, but whatever the Gen Z, Gen A,
And that,
they've been saying they don't like certain restaurants. I'm like, what? What's wrong with these restaurants? Why do you have to spend $250 on the first date? I don't understand it.
right.
I don't have to do that now. If that's what I like. Like ice cream is still good. What people don't like ice cream? They don't like,
On trend. It's on trend.
so they think you have to just first thing you know, go to Steak 48. What?
I like to meet for coffee on my first date.
Oh, excuse me, kid.
I
Okay,
mean,
kid.
I
Tell us what
don't.
you like,
I
kid.
don't
Tell
do
us
all
what you
that
like.
extra.
And,
Yeah, I don't need all that
and
extra stuff.
to me, that's sexy. That's an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation.
Boom.
You
There
can
you go.
learn so much more about a person, and you're gonna have some caffeine in your system, so you be a little stimulated. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
Right.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then just because a man takes you on your first date, say your first date might be coffee or the Franklin Institute, that don't mean necessarily that he's broke,
Yeah.
or that don't mean that he don't want to spend the money on you. Who knows? The second date might be Steak 48. But let me get to that, or let me see if, like you said, just like women are trying to see the red flags, the men are too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And some people like TK, he's not just looking at if you look European or you got this big old butt. He wants to get to know you, to talk to you, to see if you might want to go to an art gallery, or you might want to go to a gospel show. But how would you know that if you don't talk to him? You know?
Listen, I'm here to tell you, I still live in the '90s era R&B. That's my wheelhouse. And I'm not just talking about the music. Like that's my vibe. Incense, oils. I'm that dude, and
Yes.
I'm proud of it.
Yes. Me too. I seriously do not listen to today's R&B. I'm stuck in the 90s, some 80s, some 70s. But
Back when we worked together, Key and I had
yeah,
some of the same sensibilities. Like we kind of vibe to some of the same stuff.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now, okay, one more question. This last question. TK, you gotta have us on again because this was really fun. My question is, do you so the way I look at people is I look at the men that are um like say when my friends telling me they're dating, I ask them automatically like, did they have their mom and their dad? They like, what do that matter?
It
Sometimes
matters
it
a
does.
lot.
So let me tell you, I feel like it matters, but also, or if a man didn't have a dad, then he wants that, so he might turn the other way, like meaning do the right thing by the
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm,
what I've noticed is the weddings that I've been going to, like I told you, all my friends are 40 and up.
Hmm.
They're going to, the people that I met, they have their mom and their dad. If they don't have their mom and their dad might have died or something like that,
Mhm.
or they're something to that effect. But what I'm saying is, to me, because they had in their mom and their dad in their household, they get to see how their dad loved on their mom, or either how he did wrong by his mom. So they want to do the opposite. So my thing is, sometimes do you think it matters? Like, to make a long story short, um, I think that some men who haven't had the love from their family, or just they might not have a family, they don't really know how a family is. So then when they meet somebody like me, or somebody like my sister, or somebody like that who has super, super family, like we're really, really tight, then they might not know how to take that. Like, oh my gosh, you have a
Yeah,
family? Like, y'all love each other? Like, I could take food home? Like, y'all eat together? Like, oh my gosh. Like, it's
yeah,
just like weird to them because they've never experienced it. So can you tell us on that platform, do you see, like, when you're dating different women, or do you see, like you said, a woman might have told you you're too nice?
yes. So, and this is part of where that comes in. I was raised by my mom and my dad, and they stayed together for 45 years
Wow. That's amazing.
until his death,
Right.
right? So I say that to say my my dad was the affectionate, caring, loving, giving out the hugs and kisses, and my mom was more so the drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So I never grew up in a home where, the dad or the masculine image was not showing affection.
Right.
I grew up with a man who showed affection. And
Mhm.
I'm a man that shows affection. I'm very warm that way. And it throws a lot of women off. I get, dates, and then they say, "Oh, you want to settle down too fast." Why? Because I'm acting like I care, or because I'm
Mhm.
showing you some kind of compassion. I get that a lot. Oh, you want too much. Like
Mm.
you pushing too fast. How am I pushing too fast if I'm doing all the cliche stuff? Like, I'm the dude that opens the door, that puts you
Come
down
on,
in the
Tia.
chair. I'm the guy that thinks about conversations that we've had and then surprise you with a gift later on based off of what I saw you look at or what you mentioned to me later. Kia knows a little bit about my personality. I'm not your regular dude. I'm a little different.
Right.
And so, yes, I do come off nerdy or corny. I do come off that way. But someone takes the time to get to know me, you'll see that I'm not your average.
Right.
And then you see my heart, and then you can't help but to fall in love with me. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm just saying everybody's not the textbook in the box which you say they are. And
Right.
I think that a lot of women could lighten up on men um, that tend to not be the stereotypical man.
Mhm.
Right.
That whole I'm gonna go out in the back and I'm gonna chop some wood. Okay, you could get that kind of guy that goes out and chops wood, but he'll come in and watch a movie with you and still cry on the same things you cry on. We're
Right.
human too.
Mhm.
Right.
It's just that certain men are willing to allow you to see certain aspects of themselves, and certain men aren't. You will
Right.
want the guy that's going to allow you to see, because that means he's more honest. You
Right.
know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And then I think
Um,
that some people were just built on. Some people grew up on. It's a different. If it's a difference from being a hustler and being built on struggle.
hmm.
So, and not built on love. So I feel like if you weren't loved as a child, that's your problem. That's your childhood issues. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But if I was loved as a child, whether you struggle, whether you didn't, whatever. But if I was loved as a child and then maybe you weren't, I think that's another reason why people have problems. So it's like the person that is built on struggle and just trying to survive that cannot really technically love the person that's built on love. Like, just because you wasn't loved as a child, just because you had, all your things was jacked up, that don't mean mine was. You know what I mean? I
No, I know
might
what
have
you're
liked
saying.
you know what I mean? So I think that people also have that issue. So
So
then that's
let me say
why
that. Let
they
me say
can't
this to that.
understand people who are loved, or maybe
Let me
like
let
the
me say
opposite.
this to that about the love thing. So I agree with what you said, but it depends on what is love to you. Like love is love, but it all depends on what is love to you.
Right.
What does that mean to you? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you an example. I dated a twin once,
Oh
and
God.
and in me dating the twin, twins come out together. She didn't
Right.
know anybody, separate. She came out as a couple.
Right.
So she was always thinking about somebody else. Somebody else was always thinking about her because in essence, they've been one.
Okay.
They're two people, but they've been one.
Right.
She was upset with me because she said, I never think about anyone else. I can never think about anybody else on the level that you do because I'm me. You came out as a couple. You're always
Oh.
thinking about somebody else. So that's how she loves. That was her love. That was the architect of her life.
Right.
Every
Mm-hmm.
from since the beginning. And
Right.
I could not formulate my mind around what she wanted because there was no way I was ever going to be able to think about her the way she was used to being thought about. I
Right.
can't match up to that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think about what is love to someone and how they were introduced to it and how it was practiced in their life.
Right.
Yeah, I too dated a twin, and it didn't work out because the attachment was too much where
That attachment is crazy.
I couldn't fit in.
Yeah.
I didn't fit in at all. So, and I felt like that that gentleman probably would have made a great husband.
Hmm.
But that twin thing, he couldn't separate, just a little bit to allow our relationship to blossom,
Yeah. And at
you
the end
know.
of the day, that twin would have
So,
always been first.
and he was, yeah, his twin was first, and that didn't work for me
Yeah. No,
at
I get
all.
it.
So, but he was a beautiful person. He really
Hmm.
was. But yeah, so you have situations like that where it's just unmatched. You can't
Yeah. All the ingredients of
do it.
someone's life up until the point where you meet them are all the things that were thrown in to make them who they are. And if it was some negative in there, some askew, some twisted stuff in there, which is all good because we all have it, but you have to learn how to work that shit out.
Right,
Right.
right.
Especially if you're going to put yourself on display for the masses to consume and to be a part of. You got to understand, okay, now I'm now trying to open myself up for others to come in and love me. Let me figure out how to arrange what I have here to
Yes.
be palatable for the masses. If you don't do your work on yourself, no one's going to be able to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
And somebody
absolutely.
said therapy is important. Therapy is muy importante. And I will say this. A lot of people do not believe on therapy, and I don't think that you always have to necessarily go lay on somebody's couch to have therapy. But what you need to do is open your mind, open your ears, and open your eyes and do assessments around yourself. And you can do therapy for yourself. You just have to be open to other forms of thinking, other forms of speaking, other forms of living, and you can create your own therapy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Right.
have to be open to
Right.
it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I
That's
advise
very
everybody to go sit on the couch one time,
at least.
at least.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing. So many people think I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah,
Let me tell you the myth about therapy.
that's,
This is the truth.
In the
This
black
is the truth about therapy.
community too.
yes,
In the black community, that's the myth.
Yes, but this is the truth about therapy. So no one gets it twisted. No one is telling you about yourself when you're in therapy. All they do is open up the stage and the platform for you to figure out your own shit
yeah,
for yourself.
yeah,
Right.
You do the work.
Right.
yes.
You are the one doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of people think they're being judged in therapy too. Like, there's no judgment. This person does not have a personal stake with you. You're there for a professional situation, not for that therapist to think, oh, you crazy, you wrong, you this. It's not about that. It's about opening your mind up, like you said, Chike, and letting someone else give you the tools
Yeah.
to try and to open up a different way of thinking,
Hmm.
and that may give you some clarity on why this is not working out or how you can do things differently in your
Hmm.
life. That therapist doesn't have a personal stake with you.
I
So,
I will share one of my therapy tools. Um, so we all have been affected by something in our childhood or in our younger years, right?
mhm,
There's one way to look at it, how you've been affected as a child. There's another way to look at it when you get, I call it your adult eyes. When you get your adult eyes and you look at it with your adult eyes, you can assess from life experience a situation that happened from your childhood differently because now you have a different, you have more tools under your tool belt and you have more life experience and you can look back and assess it differently. Say you, for example, say you witnessed um, from an angle somebody slapped somebody when you was a kid. Oh, such and such is a horrible person. They attacked this other person, such and such and such and such. Then you look at it from another angle and you see that, oh, around this corner behind this partition that you couldn't see, this person had a child by the back of their neck about to do some damage and the other person was protecting the child. Now you get
mhm,
to look at it from a different point of view and your assessment of that situation is totally different.
Right.
mhm,
That's what therapy does for you. It gives you perspective and it gives you other tools to be able to assess things that have happened in your life or
mhm,
maybe things that haven't happened in your life that you wish to happen in your life. Well, why
mhm,
do you want that thing?
Right.
Explore that. Why is this thing that you want? You may find that it's not something that you want at all when you look at it with different eyes.
mhm,
So
mhm.
it depends. But definitely therapy, I recommend it for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I I love therapy.
So do I.
I found out a lot about myself. Just a small tidbit from my personal experience. I didn't realize that I keep a lot of things in, or I might not say things because as a child, my grandparents raised me. So my grandfather felt like I was too chatty and would tell me to be quiet a lot.
Mm,
But my grandmother, on the other hand, would be like, no, she could talk, that, let her say. But through therapy, I found out in my adult life that in the back of my mind, I'm hearing my grandfather's voice saying, shut up, be quiet.
mm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people call me reserved, and that, I'm finding out that's probably one of the reasons, I'm not knowingly, purposely doing it. But yeah, like I had no idea, but she brought that out. And I'm like, you know
And
what?
just
Maybe.
and just to
Yeah.
paint a fuller picture of
Mhm.
that, not talking about you, kid, because I don't know your full situation, but you can have someone who has that dynamic in their life, right? And say they go on a job and they're putting in for um, elevated positions, maybe supervisor, maybe manager, maybe CEO,
Mhm.
and they continue to not move forward because of that very reason that Kia said.
Yeah.
So something that happened in your childhood can stunt you in your adulthood and your personal growth because you
Yeah.
don't handle it. And you may not even know it yet.
Right.
I didn't know it. Yeah. I didn't
You
know
might
it.
not even know
But
what traumatized you until like
I,
now,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
whenever you
I
find
That's
mean,
why
out.
I'm
therapy is important.
right. I mean,
Therapy is important.
it just came out the blue. I never said to the therapist, yeah, my grandfather used to tell me to shut up and that's why I don't talk much. No, she, brought that whole
Mhm.
situation to a different light.
Yeah,
So, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's very powerful.
yeah.
I didn't think of it on that
Right.
light. So
I have a
therapy's good.
I have a cousin that found out that her mother was insanely jealous of her
Mm.
and was
Mm,
stunting her. Her whole life was stunning on her and putting barriers in front of her to keep her from going past a certain level because the mother, didn't go past a certain level. So
Mm.
what makes her think that she can go if I didn't do it and I'm the mom?
right.
That was her
Mm.
thinking. It's funny the things you find out in
Yeah, I
therapy.
hear a lot of women, a lot of moms. Well, not a lot, because again, I can't identify with that because I have a loving mom who's very supportive, but I do hear that from some of my friends that, or just from people in general, that their mom was jealous of them or
Yeah.
their mom stunted their growth or did things to hurt them and like really, really hurt them, like insanely. And it's like, what?
Hmm.
Why would your mom do that?
Mhm.
Your mom's supposed to love you.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can't
Or
understand
want
it because
better
I
for
don't
you.
identify with
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah. It's a
again,
real thing.
that's a generational thing where mom probably should have had therapy too because some things happened to mom to make her be
Mhm.
that way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Because back to my story, I found out my grandfather did the same thing to my mother,
Wow.
was tell her, be quiet, you talk too much. You know what I mean? So again, you just don't know that generational thing, it affects you
Yeah.
way down the line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what we did? We went down a rabbit hole, and that's like one of my favorite things with this show. I love when I talk to people and we go off on a tangent and we just throw some stuff out there and we have a very meaningful and explorative conversation. I love you ladies for that.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for
Thank you.
inviting
Thank
us.
you. This
Love
was an
you
amazing
too.
conversation. I'm reading the
Yes.
comments. People are saying like, "Oh yes, like this was good. Like I should have hopped
Yes.
on earlier."
Right.
Well, if you missed the live, he's going to save the lives. He's going to save the lives, and I hope that you can make me a collaborator, or if Kia wants to be a collaborator too, you can add both of us so it'll be on both of our pages,
Mhm.
so that all of our followers can watch. And also, it's going to be on YouTube. So maybe I don't know if you might not want to make it a collaborative so they can go on YouTube and watch, but y'all, thank you for tuning in. For all the women, the men who are tuning in, and just
Thank you.
thank you for TK for having Kia and I. And thank you, Kia, for being an amazing
Yes.
accountability partner
And
and
thank you
walking with me in the
too.
morning.
Yes, thank you too. And everybody, don't forget Chicklets and Glamour. She is
You
online
promoting
with
me more.
beautiful